Hello, I'm doing a book review, and the book I want to review is called Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender by Charles Day. Now, Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender is the first of a series of books called The Adventures of Kyle McGerrt. Now, I don't know if the other books in the series have been written or published yet, but this book was published in 2013. Now, Charles Day also wrote another book called Deep Within, which I reviewed a couple of months ago. Now, Deep Within, I liked that book, but my problems with that book was there were a lot of typos in it, and overall, the writing in that book was a little iffy. This book, on the other hand, I found to be a lot more well-written. Like, the prose are a lot cleaner in this book, and there really are hardly any typos in this book. I noticed, like, maybe one or two, but for the most part, this book was a lot more well-written than Deep Within was. And overall, I liked this even more than Deep Within, and I still enjoyed Deep Within for the most part, despite my little problems with it, but overall I found this to be an even better book. Now, Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender is a horror western, obviously set in the American Old West, set back in the 1800s, and it follows a 16-year-old boy named Kyle McGerrt, whose father was kind of like a demon hunter in a way. Like, his father one day found this magic medallion when he was looking for gold, and the medallion gave him visions of all these supernatural creatures, and he became a hunter of supernatural creatures, but Kyle's father was killed shortly before the events of this book, so a lot of the book focuses on Kyle trying to take up his father's mantle, and Kyle was left this magic medallion. The book also follows a bartender named Bart Shires, who is the main villain of the book. Now, Bart Shires was a bartender who had a curse put on him by a Native American tribe called the Redeemers, and this curse turned him into a zombie, pretty much, or a ghoul. In the book, it refers to him as a ghoul, but ghoul, zombie, they're pretty much the same thing. But basically, this character, Bart Shires, he was turned into a zombie or ghoul, whichever you like to call it, and he started turning all the people that he knew into ghouls as well. And now his main plan is to wipe out all Native Americans, not just the Redeemers, but all Native Americans, and basically it's up to Kyle to stop him. And that's the basic plot line of Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender. Now, I really enjoyed Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender. I thought this was a really fun read, and I definitely recommend this if you could find a copy of this. And what I really liked about the book was, in the book, the character of Bart Shires, even though he is the villain, he's not an entirely unsympathetic character. Like, there are parts of this book where I actually felt kind of sorry for him. The problem is, though, he lets his anger and his hatred for Native Americans really take control of him. So, and even though you do feel some sympathy for him, it still doesn't excuse his actions in this book. But really, when you stop to think about it, though, he really is just a cursed man. And I thought the character of Kyle McGerrt was a very likable protagonist, and I'm definitely interested to read the other books in this series and see where Charles Day takes this character. So yeah, Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender is a very fun horror western novel, and I definitely recommend this. And you actually have this copy of the book has a little review on the back of it from Jonathan Mayberry, who is a relatively mainstream author. Now, I actually met Charles Day at a horror convention a couple of months ago. He was the one who actually sold me this book, and he actually wrote right here, Christian, thank you for grabbing a copy. Now get ready for a crazy ride into the, I think that says Weird West, but yeah, that's his signature right there. So yeah, that's my review on Hunt for the Ghoulish Bartender by Charles Day. If you could find a copy of this, I definitely recommend it, and bye.